It's two pieces for this part. So you got your front half, you got your back half. So you just split it with, and then when you let go, so I had to sand it all over and start over. But like this thing is like literally like.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sith Talk. Today we have on the show Rex from Millennium Workshop. How you doing, Rex?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel, what you do, and where we can find you at?
Well, my channel, it's pretty small, which I'm happy with. It doesn't have to grow really big. My main goal with the channel is to kind of document a lot of things that I make so that my daughter and maybe my future grandkids can see that, that I made. So I'm pretty excited about all that. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But I mainly specialize in making, cool stuff for collectors when it comes to Star Wars. But I do venture out to other stuff. I got a little Wolverine helmet I'm working on right behind me. So
yes. Yo. So guys, I'm gonna put the link to his YouTube, his Instagram down in the description. I literally just hit refresh on the tracking and a package just got here right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go grab that. Woo!
What are the odds of that timing right there?
Perfect timing. All right. So we're about to do an unboxing in a minute. But before we get into this, oh man, I'm excited for this. So everyone that comes on the show, we start off with 3 questions. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Favorite Star Wars movie? A lot of people don't like this answer, but for me, it's Episode 1 because it really got me into Star Wars for like how old I was. Darth Maul was like absolutely terrifying to me and one of my favorite villains to this day.
Yeah.
But then I appreciate, Jar Jar Binks and the fact that, he brought some comedy into, Star Wars. And as a kid, I thought he was absolutely hilarious. Everyone always gets upset over that one, but you know what? It doesn't bother me at all because I loved it. It's what hooked me.
Dude, so a few people have come on the show and Phantom Menace was their favorite movie as well. Mainly for that same reason, like it got them into it. I love Phantom Menace because I was 14 when it dropped. So that was my first Star Wars movie in the movie theaters. Like in the 90s, I watched the OG trilogy on the VHS 3-pack that my dad had, like religiously over and over. But seeing it on the big screen for the first time, bro, that's such a special thing, man. So special.
I don't even know if I 100% remember the original trilogy before Phantom Menace. Like I don't remember it. Now I had all the toys.
Yeah.
Because they were my brothers and they were given to me, but I don't truly remember the original series. So it's like, but like after our Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, I remember watching the rest of them.
No, for sure. So the second question is, what's your favorite Star Wars show?
So for me, it's definitely going to be The Mandalorian. It's what got me back into Star Wars like heavily and like started watching stuff. And I'm like, man, I feel like I can make all this stuff. And it's also the show that like, so my daughter wanted to be Grogu or Baby Yoda to her because she's only 5. She was probably about 3 at the time. She wanted to be Grogu for Halloween and she wanted me to be Mando. And she's like, and I go, oh yeah, I can get a Mando costume, no big deal. She's like, no, Dad, I want you to be Mando. I was like, you want the armor and everything? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I bought a 3D printer and went to town and made it come true. Walked into the room, my daughter's room right before trick-or-treating, and she was like, she really thought I was Mando. She like freaked out, and that's what really took me down, the big rabbit hole of where I'm kind of at right now, just making tons of stuff as much as I can.
Really? So it's because of your daughter that you now make everything?
Yep. Like she has her own Boba Fett, like Mandalorian suit that's black and pink and everything.
Oh, That is so awesome. Like you were just being a good ass dad, and now all of a sudden you have all this cool stuff everywhere. And literally, like, is it to the point now where you're like, I don't even need to buy this stuff, I could just make it?
Well, so that was also another thing too. It's like I wanted this, I want this, I want this. It's like honestly, I think that if I just had the opportunity to be able to make it, I could probably
Yeah.
do it myself. Because I've always been really like artsy and been able to like draw anything and like so before all this I did woodworking as a
Uh-huh.
hobby, like the table. So I'm actually in my dining room. So my dining room table was handmade by me.
Oh, nice.
Every shelf is made by me. Every coffee table in the house, everything. So that was always my little vice, and then
Yeah.
now it's more this. So
That's awesome. And yeah, Mando, when it first came out, man, it brought like everybody back and everybody in. Like it brought in so many new fans, and like for all the OGs, it felt so new. It was new, but felt so old. Like it just felt right from the beginning. Like those first two seasons, I miss those days, man. It was so good. So good.
yeah, that's why I really liked it. Like that first episode, and I always tell people it's like if you've never seen it, it's that first episode what captures you.
Yep.
Mando walks into a bar, beats the hell out of everybody, and drags somebody out. Like it's like space cowboy baby. Like it was
Yeah,
just
yeah, and what's wild, so that scene, they showed us that 7-minute clip at Chicago Celebration. So we were at the panel, and John Fav and Dave Filoni, they showed us that, and it was like 4 or 5 months before the show came out, and we saw that full scene where he walks into the bar. I could bring you in warm, I could bring you in cold, closes the door on the dude, and we were all like, "Yo!" And then we had to wait 5 months for it to come
yep.
out. But that scene is just, bro, that's how you start a show. Like that scene is amazing, man. So good.
Well, I felt like it was a little bit more like adult
Yep.
too. Like like showing him getting sliced in half. Like how often have you seen that in Star Wars or
Yeah.
what was it, episode or season 3 when he walked like cuts the dude's head off? Like
Yeah.
you just
Yep.
didn't see that anywhere else in Star Wars.
No, for sure. So the last one, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
So I flip flop back and forth from Boba Fett and like Darth Maul. I love Darth Maul.
Nice. Yes.
Depends on I guess what day. Like, am I walking around as Boba Fett because I have the full cosplay? So like, if
Yeah.
that's the case, I'm dialed in on Boba Fett. But I do love Darth Maul. I mean, I have some really cool comics that are all graded and Maul's on the cover.
Ooh. Nice. Awesome.
I'll send you some
So
pictures because they're really
yeah.
nice.
No, for sure. Yeah, let's check that out. Now, for you guys watching, I did buy this off of Rex, and it literally just got here right now. So we're gonna open this up. Super hyped for this, and it got here way quicker than I thought, like a lot quicker. It's like Christmas right now, Christmas in July.
I'm nervous. I'm sitting here freaking out. Like, did UPS, drop an elbow from the upper ropes and
Ooh. No, it
try to
seems
get through
safe.
it?
It seems safe. The box was seemed fine. Oh
I wrapped it up in
man,
like 6 different layers. So good luck
yes.
getting it to it.
No, that's good. I'd rather better safe than sorry. Oh man. Oh, yo, the plaque. So the second I saw you doing this, and I asked you like, are you selling that one or are you keeping it? Right away when you're like, no, I'm selling it. I was like, dibs. I need that. I need to be the first one to have this like right away. That's like a regular person. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of like 3D printer dudes that already have this, but I am a
Yeah, this
regular
this is
guy.
ground zero. This is number one. This is prototype,
Yes.
first attempt on paint, everything.
Oh my god, this is so. I just see the back of it, and it's. Oh, I feel like I'm
I just
watching.
hope you measured your head properly. That's all.
Yeah, we'll find out right now. Wow. So let me get this. Oh my god, this thing is freaking beautiful. Wow. Yo, this is insane.
I feel like pictures don't do it justice, like, or even the
It
videos.
it doesn't at all. Look at the teeth, man. Oh my god. This is let me show the back too. And literally as soon as we're done with this, I'm repacking it and making an unboxing video and dropping it so quick cuz this, yo, this is nuts. All right, we're going to test fit.
And you might want to take your glasses off. Okay, yeah. All right, now it's tight going on, it's tight coming off, but it should pop right. Yep, right there.
Oh yeah. Yo, this is crazy.
It's
Does
such
it
a
look good
perfect
on?
fit. Oh yeah, it's a perfect fit, man.
It really is. Pieces of lie. Yo, this is wild. No, yeah, it fits good though. And it's like snug, but it's like it fits fine.
Yeah,
That's
I was telling one of
wild.
my buddies. I was telling one of my buddies, going on, it's tight. As soon as you get your jaw to line up with the jaw of the helmet, it's literally a perfect fit.
No, it really is. This is so crazy. Oh man, I'm gonna have fun with this thing.
Yep.
Woo.
And it pops on, pops off. I love that.
Yo, thank you again, man. Like you knocked it out of the park with this, and like that Hasbro one is a joke, man. I don't understand why they can't make it like you, bro. You just printed this in your freaking dining room, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Hasbro, what? And you got a
There's
couple
just
more
a
there.
there's just a raw print.
Yeah, that's crazy how it goes from that to this.
Yeah, so it's two pieces for this part. So you got your front half, you got your back half, you have your
Yeah.
seam divided in the middle. And then what you do is you lightly sand that away, and then
Uh-huh.
you hit it with you hit it with like a texture paint, and it really. So I'm doing a how-to video on how to do all this, and I wanted the how-to video to be like dumbed down. Like you don't have to get this thing perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
This is the helmet where it can be a little rough, but our goal is to get rid of the lines so you can't see that, so it still looks good. So it's going to be a really good helmet for beginners when it comes to printing.
Number one, baby. Let's go. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to watch that video, man. Like, cause like the 3D printing stuff is just so interesting to me. Cause I got a buddy of mine, Humpty, and he 3D printed like a 7-foot K2SO droid, like a 6-foot something battle droid. He's going nuts, man. He does a lot of crazy stuff like that. He 3D printed Bender from Futurama, so he has a life-size Bender. Super cool.
Droids are a ton of fun to make. Like my favorite one is the Darth Maul probe droid. That's my favorite droid to make, other than
Oh,
the B1 battle droids. Those are fun to make too.
damn this thing, man. Oh. So you
Yeah,
said you're
what
only
are the odds? What are the odds of as soon as we start this, it shows up at the house? No
I
one's gonna
know.
believe it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this was planned." No, like it.
No, literally we started at 3. I just refreshed the tracking, delivered at 2:56 p.m. So the dude didn't even knock because we were talking for a little bit. I would have heard it. He just left it there and dipped. But like, yo, I cannot wait. And then when I go live tonight, I'm gonna be wearing this like before I go live. Like it's gonna be so cool. People are gonna go nuts, man.
Oh, I'm pretty
Damn,
pumped.
this is so dope. So that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you, and you kind of answered it. But I was gonna say, how did you get into this, and how long have you been doing it? So you've only been doing it a couple years.
Yep, just a couple years. It really started out with just like for my daughter, and then a couple friends, and then Toy Bills.
Yeah, yeah.
I sent, I made him a couple things, and it just kind of like boomed after that. Like, so that Scott from Sprites Runners Lounge, every time I would come on, he would like, or comment in the chat, he'd be like, "Oh man, I just love the name." And
Yeah.
it all started from like me and Billy were just talking one night, and I was like, I'm thinking about getting into YouTube. I think it would be fun. I think some people out there would want to see it, like why, what I make,
Yeah.
but they might not. Who cares? Like, it'll just be like a catalog. And Billy's like, "Yeah, man, we could do like a talk show." And I go, "Yeah," and then we can have like a segment where it's like, in the workshop where we make stuff and post those workshop days. And I was like,
Yeah.
we could just call it Millennium Workshop. And Billy was like, "Bro, like that is like a perfect name for just you. Like
Yeah.
you need to just do that." And I was like, I guess I'll make a couple videos and post them out there. And it
Yeah.
was like, as soon as I posted that one, it was like I got a little bit of traffic, and then it was like that fourth, fifth one is like start getting more traffic, and then the Spice Runners found me, and it was just wild, man. And I've had a pretty big following so far. I mean, on YouTube, I'm at like 500 and like I think 20
Mhm.
almost. I mean, and it's a very short time, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
No, that's awesome. So you just make stuff basically if people hit you up, like you don't like have like a site or advertise it or nothing like that. It's really just when if people see it and say, "Hey, are you making that?" You're like sure, kind of like that.
Yeah, so it's a little mixture of both. Like, you can hit me up, and I do just straight commissions. If I want to do it, there's times where I just don't want to. I don't want to make that, or I may say, hey, hit me up in a couple more months. I might want to do
Mm,
that, but I
yeah.
usually like pick up the commission because I do like bringing stuff to life for people. But sometimes it's like with the stranger helmet, I just wanted to make it to make it. I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to just make it, and it kind of came down to the same thing. I made it, sent a picture, posted a teaser, and you hit me up like, "Hey, you selling that?" And but that's how a
Yep.
lot of stuff have been. Like, sometimes like my first Tuscan Raider helmet, I just wanted to make one, and as soon as
Yeah.
I posted it, I got a message like immediately afterward, "Hey, are you selling that?" It's like, "Yeah, sure."
Damn. So out of everything you've made, what was the most like challenging like build that you had?
Ooh, I mean, sometimes it's always the first of everything.
Okay.
Everything. It's always the first. So like the first droid I made, the first um, Tuscan Raider helmet I made, the first Stranger helmet that I made.
Yeah.
Because like now I have the process down. So it's one of those like how I sand it, how I texture it, how I weather it. Now it's all programmed in my head. I don't have to write it down or anything. But that first one, I was messaging you like, man, I just don't know the color. I'm
Yeah. Yep.
colorblind. So like I need
That's
help from
crazy.
people to help me figure out what the color is.
Yeah.
So I hit people up. I'm like, "Hey, I think it's this color. What do you think?" Just to see,
Yeah.
'cause- and most people don't even know I'm colorblind. So you didn't know it. I was like, "Hey, what do you
Yeah.
think of this color?"
That's what so like does that make it more of a challenge when you're trying to do stuff being colorblind?
Well, yeah, I mean, because like I could grab the wrong paint and paint it the totally wrong
Mm.
way. Like my most of my color blindness is in the reds and the green family.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
anything that has an offshoot of red or an offshoot of green, like some browns, copper, like those colors, like
Yeah.
since they have some red in it, I struggle seeing them. They start all kind of blurring together to me.
Yeah.
Now, like your hat, bright red, I can see that. Like
Mhm.
hey, I want it to look like this. Okay, I can make that happen easy. I don't
Yeah.
need to ask any questions or reach out to anybody. I know that color.
Yeah. No,
When we
for
start getting
sure.
those off colors.
Got you. And so you said you have a full Mando armor and Boba Fett armor? Do you have any
Yep.
other armors?
No, I think my next one's gonna be Captain Enoch.
Ooh, because you
I want to
got
do a
you
full.
yeah, you do you have that helmet by you by chance right now? The Enoch
No, I
helmet?
don't even. I don't even have a helmet.
Oh, how many of those did you make?
I've made 4 of them so far.
Oh, and I mean, you could just sell them because, like, at any moment, you could just hit print and make another one, right?
Yep.
That's kind of a nice luxury where it's like you don't even need it sitting around. You could just sell it, make some money,
Mhm.
and then, hey, I want it again, and just print and then just wait. So, like for like a helmet, for example, how long does that take, like to print it? How long is the whole process, like on the Stranger helmet that you just did?
So the Stranger helmet is one of the fastest helmets I've ever made.
Nice.
Because uh, you'll see it in the how-to video. Like it's really dumbed down. It's gonna go print each piece, which took about 2 days to print every single piece for it,
Okay.
max 2 days. Um, Glue and weld the two main pieces together
Uh huh.
and smooth it out the best you can. So get that seam
Oh yeah.
best you can with a soldering iron. Doesn't have to be perfect, no big deal. Then you sand it at 180 and then 220. And then once you sand that, you're pretty much smooth. And then you hit
Hmm.
it with like a filler primer that's really thick. Let
Yeah.
that dry. And then you're going to hit it with a truck bed liner, believe it or not. You're
Huh.
going to mist it. That's why if you feel that helmet, you'll feel small little bumps. But in
Yeah.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
spots,
Yeah.
it's thicker in some spots. So like
No.
that, where that seam is, it's a little bit thicker on that where that seam would be because of that truck bed liner. Because I wanted that to hit a little bit harder. So you can use the texture to help finish it. So you're not putting 7 to 8 hours into getting this thing as perfectly smooth. You don't need to with this helmet. The textile texture of it is what sells that helmet, in my opinion.
No, for
So
sure. For sure. So
then,
like
then it was like 4 colors and it was done.
yeah. No, yeah, it was quick, man. Cause like when I saw you when you first printed it, you were done the next day. I'm like, "What?" Like, that was fast, like, super fast, which is awesome. The armor, the full armor, that must take a long time to do, to print at least.
Yeah, I mean, print time for the entire for Captain Enoch. It's just chest. It's chest, back, abdomen, shoulders, face, and then legs. So total print time's probably gonna be about a week
Oh, wow.
max, probably. Just cause I mean, you also got to think I have you know 3 regular printers, a resin printer. So I mean, I can have them all going at the same time. So that also cuts down the time as well. So like the reason why it took like less than 48 hours to print an entire helmet is because I was printing on 3 different printers at the same time.
Oh, how much do those printers run for, like, one of them?
So I have two of the Bamboo Lab P1Ss. Those are like $6.99.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I mean, it's one of the fastest printers I've ever used. So if anyone that wants to get into it, I feel like the programming, the software is really dumbed down, and the
Mhm.
quality is really high. So like if you're an iPhone guy, you're gonna love this printer over anything because you can
Ooh.
just plug in the model, hit slice, send it, and you don't really have to think like on my older printers, like you had a lot of stress and a lot of mess ups and fails, and then all of a sudden, oh, now I figured it out after
Yeah.
$60 worth of material I wasted. You know.
So that material, like, where do you have to order that online, or can you buy that like at like Home Depot or Lowe's? I know it's not like at Target or nothing.
No, so there is a place. There's a couple places locally here in Dayton that have it. So like
Mhm.
Micro Center has
Uh-huh.
like an entire like aisle, like the grocery store, and it's just full of filament. But they have
Ooh.
everything technology wise at Micro Center. But I usually buy it online because I can get a better deal. So I go to
Mhm.
Elegoo's website and I buy 10 rolls of filament at $109, free shipping, and it's $10.99 a roll. Like that's the lowest I've been able to find it for what the
Yeah.
quality is. So because you
And
can get cheaper filament, but it's gonna like fall apart.
how long do those rolls last?
Uh, not very long with how
Not very
much I
long.
print. if you don't print as much as I do, it'll last you, 10 rolls. I mean, that'll last you a while. But I mean, if you print off like, 4 or 5 helmets, a battle droid. So, and I ordered 20 rolls. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 helmets, a probe droid, a battle droid, just head, and a gauntlet. And I still have 8 rolls left.
Oh, that's pretty good then. That seems like you got a lot out of that so far.
Yeah.
And
there's still 2 full rolls in my printer, which I didn't count those.
And you could pretty much 3D print anything like weapons, sabers, and stuff like that too, right? Have you dabbled with any of that stuff, like the weaponry?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a bunch of weapons. I don't really post those because every time I post like any blasters, like Boba Fett's blaster, or anything, it gets taken down. People think it's real. Yeah.
Oh my! Come on, that's crazy.
I've been hit on TikTok, Instagram that somebody flagged it, so I just don't even post those anymore.
That's great. Oh damn! I didn't even think about Boba Fett's blaster. That's probably badass looking, huh?
Yeah, I've done his rifle. Oh, actually, I do have one blaster right there. Din Djarin.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That you just printed that, and that looks beautiful.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, that's sick. So
you might get flagged, just so you know.
It's all good. It's a toy, guys. It's from the Mando. It's from Mando. Come on. Now, like, do you go to like a lot of like shows and conventions?
I do not. So
No?
I have a full-time job. This is not this is just a hobby. This is fun for me. That just so happens to make me a little bit of money along the way.
Yeah.
But I'm a jeweler. I run K Jewelers here in Beaver Creek. So a lot of times where there's like a con that's pretty close, it's also close to a holiday, which the jewelry industry is always booming when it comes to the holidays. So there's a lot of stuff I miss when it comes to that.
Got you. No, because I was gonna say, man, it'd be sick if you had like a table there or a booth, because you could just show off a bunch of your stuff and even like sell stuff there. Like people would go nuts if you had like a booth at a convention, like for sure with that stuff.
Yeah, I would love to. My goal. So Xenia, if you've ever been to Xenia, Ohio, which you definitely should one day, because 2 times a year they have the biggest toy show you will ever go to. I promise you that.
Oh, I think I've probably seen it in like Billy or Josh's videos, because I feel like there's always like or like Cincy Nerd, like one of those dudes. I've probably seen them where it's a crazy toy show over there.
Yeah, it's 7 giant like farm style buildings at like at your your fairgrounds. Like, I mean, I'm talking big buildings, and they're just jam packed full. And I'm thinking about doing a table at one of those just to see.
Do it.
Not sure yet. Well, I don't have enough stuff to like. There's a lot of times where like with you, I made something, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, I want that. It's like, okay, I'll send it to you. Like, it's yours. And I just don't keep a hold of a lot of stuff, so I would struggle to have a table. So I'm trying to do like one for me and put it off to the side. Here and there, and then be able to do a table maybe next year instead of because the next show is in October, and I don't think I could produce enough stuff for a table.
Got you. So how's that Wolverine mask coming along? Can we take a look at that bad boy?
Yeah. So I have this thing completely, fully finished. It was beautiful, ready to go. But the yellow, I put an oil wash on it, and it turned out perfect. It was super weathered. And then I hit it with a clear coat, and I think the clear coat mixed with the gloss yellow and that oil paint just like had a bad reaction, so it cracked. So I had to sand it all over and start over. But like this thing is like literally like a perfect fit once it's on.
Damn. Yeah, that is sick, man. And then you're gonna put white eyes on it too, or are you gonna leave it like see through?
I'm debating between white eyes or light up white
Oh
eyes,
yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
the Iron Man look where they're white
yeah.
lit up. I'm not sure yet. Might try both. It's really close to my eyes, so I just don't know if the light up ones I would be able to
Oh,
do. So I'm gonna see.
got you, got you. And so I see you got that battle droid head back there. Have you ever made a full size battle droid or thought
So
about it?
that well, I have everything printed for a full size battle droid. It's about 3/4 of the way done,
Uh huh.
but I've kind of just put it on the back burner because I've been because that's the battle droid head and the chest and the
Yeah,
lower abdomen. So, but I had the legs done. I just got like really, it's just doing the arms and everything. I just
yeah.
haven't had time.
Got you, got you. So, what's your like favorite piece that you've ever done that you've ever made?
Maybe um, that's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
Uh, Well, I put so much like love and like blood, sweat, tears. Like, I
Hmm.
sliced my finger work doing the gauntlet just a little bit ago. Probably my daughter's armor because I hand sewed the
Ooh.
flight vest, everything.
Yeah,
Made the jetpack so it magnetizes to her back so it could come off
wow.
real easy just in case
Yeah,
like she went through like a freak out because all 4 or 5 year olds, man, they're a ticking time bomb if they're going to freak
yeah,
out on
yeah.
anything. So
That's cool. That's really cool. So I almost forgot about the gauntlet. You want to show off the gauntlet that you're working on right now for the
oh
stranger?
yeah, it's like done. I just gotta put some fabric on the inside and
Ooh, it looks spot on, man. And how does it fit? Does it fit good on?
I think it's pretty comfortable. So I'm gonna do it with elastic. There was spots for magnets, but the magnets are just like you'd have to get little baby ones. So you
Yeah.
just split it with, and then when you let go, it'll tighten down with the
Oh,
elastic. So
yeah, man. That is spot on, man.
I think
And
it's a pretty good.
how, how long did that take to print? That must have been pretty quick, right?
Oh, it took 5 hours to print.
Hmm.
Um, I finished it in about I don't know 2 hours today.
Nice. That thing is sick, man.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the new paint color for the next helmet. But
Yeah.
it's going to have just a some little bit heavier highlights of that bronze copper
Yep.
tone.
Yeah, for sure. So after you're done with the stranger helmets and gauntlets, what's the next project you want to work on printing?
So I'm going to be making another Darth Maul battle droid. There's a guy that reached out to me and he asked for one, and he has some handicaps and like
Mhm.
with his hands. So um, I made it so it's kind of like it's going to be all painted, finished, everything, but he's going to have to put a little bit of it together for shipping. And he's
Yeah.
like super excited about it, and I'm super excited to do it. So I'm getting everything printed right now so we can go on that. And then that toy show I was telling you about, the owner of, or the guy that runs it, he owns two amazing vintage toy stores in this small town.
Yeah.
And he requested for a 75% scale to life size. So, I mean, it's going to be huge, a Rancor head that's like that. But
A
he wants it,
75, how tall is that going to be in like feet?
it's going to be big. So, like, it's going to be big. I mean, it's going to probably be
How how do you
about
print
that tall.
how do you print that?
Oh, I'll grab, I'll show you.
Oh.
Like, just cut it into sections. So, like, that's the eye.
Oh, wow.
But that tells you how big that's going to be compared to. I mean, this one's
Yeah.
about as big as your head. So a little bit bigger than my head. Look at the eye on that.
Yo, so like how are you gonna deliver that? So like are you gonna put it together? Like how's that gonna work?
So okay, so I have a truck.
Uh-huh.
So it's just gonna go in the truck bed.
Oh, okay. Got
So
you.
it's gonna be printed completely hollow, like this one.
Uh-huh.
Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a cool base, kind of like how this one is.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you fill the hollow head with expanding foam,
Okay.
and then you let it just expand, and then you just take like a turkey carving knife, electric one, and just cut it right off the back where it's
Yeah.
expanded over too much. So then it'll be structurally sound, because
Oh.
this Rancor, like if you squeezed on it, it would flex and bend. So the
Yeah.
big one's going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to fill it up, and it'll be one of the best hollow prints ever, because it won't be hollow anymore. So, but yeah, it's still lightweight.
That is gonna look that's beautiful right there. That thing is amazing, man.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised this never sold. I posted this online, and no one hit me up on it. I was kind of shocked, but it's pretty
Well,
sweet right there. So I'm
yeah.
fine with it.
No, it looks good there, man. It looks good there for sure. Now, when does that guy want the giant Rancor head by? Like, is there a timeline you have where it might be done?
Oh, no, he has no time frame. Whenever.
Oh, got you,
Uh,
got you.
so it's going to be. I think it's 72 pieces at
Jesus.
this size. So that's about 10 rolls of filament, and I'm at 30. I can tell you exactly how many I've printed so far. I've printed 40 pieces so far, so got another
Yo.
20 pieces to go. And I got to print the tongue, which the tongue is bigger than probably your head, including your beard. Like the tongue's gonna be huge.
Wow. Are you gonna record that whole process of you like making that and putting it together and stuff?
I'm gonna try. It's just one of those, like, it's gonna be pretty big, so I just don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna be able to. I mean, I have the room probably in my dining room, but I'm gonna have to get rid of my dining room table to probably do it. Probably do it on the floor.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's gonna be big. Unless my
That's
math is wrong. So
Yo, that's gonna look so dope. And he's gonna just put it up at his store, like in the front,
no.
inside somewhere, probably, right?
Yeah, so he has this. So he just expanded um, part of it's just got his toy. One of the toy shops just got huge, and he has like a DTOF just for me, and it has all my stuff that maybe hasn't sold online,
Yeah.
or I made specifically for his shop, because he gets a kickback. And since
Yeah.
he's a small guy, small business guy here in local, I make sure to keep like that stock so we can split the money on it, because I want him to
Yeah.
get that. So like I take way less for those so that he can make some more money too. Not for a
That's
charity
awesome.
thing, just as he's been a good friend to me,
Yeah.
and he's super good to my daughter. Every time my daughter goes in there, he gives her a little toy, and that was before I even
Uh,
started showing stuff to him. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like, so when I take some of them, I'm like, hey, we're going to split this, 50-50, or hey, I want you to make $50 off this one, and this is how much I want for it. And he's
Yeah.
never batted an eye. So I always make sure that's super full. But there's this like metal, like giant metal pillar, because the building's super old, and it's going to go
Yeah.
right up on that metal pillar, because nothing else can go there.
Ooh, that's gonna be so sick. I cannot wait to see when you finish that, man. That's wild.
Can't wait.
Do you have any other crazy projects like that people are commissioning you for?
Um, no, I mean, no, not really. I mean, so it's just like some stuff here and there. Like Joel, he ordered a Tusken Raider helmet, and then it turned into Predator helmet. So he's got a Predator helmet, and that I
Nice.
did. Um, And then he got my Rebel Marine, which is actually made with a real World War II helmet.
Yeah, I seen
So
that. That thing's clean.
when you pick that thing up, it's heavy.
It's
It's
heavy,
not.
right?
Yeah, it's super heavy.
Yo, you could also print gaffy sticks too, right?
Oh, I got files for that.
Oh, that's man, I'm trying to think like what about like I don't know, man. That's like unlimited power, man, being able to print whatever you want. And like there's websites and stuff that sell like the files and have all that stuff. Like it's pretty easy to get, right?
Yep. So like I signed up for like Patreons too. So like I pay like a yearly subscription to like
Yeah.
this modeler or that modeler, and you get their permission basically to use their file uh and like actually like sell what you made. And
That's
there's some
awesome.
modelers that as long as you just buy the file, they don't care. You can sell what
Yeah.
you made. But some have, like this is only made for, personal use. If you want to
Mhm.
use it to sell to people, you need to join our Patreon. So I usually do that because I know that really helps them out too. Because
Oh
they work
yeah,
hard on
no.
the models.
Yeah, they do like so do you know how to like do that? How to like make your own 3D model or is that's like kind of crazy?
Like I know how to. I've done a few. Am I good at it? No, I'm not the
Mm,
greatest. I'm good at like modifying and altering like a pre-existing
okay.
file. So like
Okay.
I can take like a couple files and morph them all into one and make it totally different. Like I'm pretty good at that. But like starting from scratch, I struggle a little bit with that. But the community, there's so much out there when it comes to like modeling and 3D printing that literally, I mean, sky's the limit. Whatever you're into, it's out there.
Oh,
Like
yeah, for sure.
if you're into He-Man original figures, I have a file where I blew it up to a 3 foot He-Man from the original like toy for one of my
Oh,
buddies. So
that is sick. So you could do, like, little, like, Kenner toys, but blow them up to any size you want, right, potentially?
yep. Yeah, so
Damn.
I did for one of my buddies. I did a the original Boba Fett, but it was like
Yeah.
14 inches tall or 15 inches tall. And then I took a um, Beskar ingot from Mando, and I made that, and that was his like stand that he stood on. Like it was really cool.
Ooh, that's so sick. That's awesome, man. So the last thing I wanna talk about, we could talk about is, the Acolyte that's been on. So you've been watching it, right?
Yeah,
Have you been enjoying it, or what do you think about it so far, 6 episodes in?
I've been enjoying the whole show. Like, is there some stuff that I would change? Yes,
Yeah.
but you could argue that across the board on anything anyone ever watches. Like, I could, man, if they could have just done it without this, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
I also feel like if they released the entire season all at once,
Dude.
and there was nobody talking about it prior to, like it was just, hey, here's a show, here's a trailer, and boom, here it is. I feel like thousands of people that are hating on it would actually be more in love with this show. Because like some of the writing's not bad, some of it's not great.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can argue
yeah,
that. But if
yeah.
you were able to watch the entire thing all at once, you would see the highs and the lows, and the story would just kind of progress as it went. And I think it wouldn't hit as bad because, like, you didn't have the, I guess what I'm trying to say, like, that before each episode, you're hearing this interview from this person and that person. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
honestly, I like the original, like how the original series was, or like how the prequels were coming out. You didn't hear about anything. All you knew is there was a trailer. It was going to be in theaters. You either went and saw it or you didn't. Like,
Yep.
so I feel like if they went back to the roots of like how they did cinema back in the day, where everything was top secret, you weren't allowed to do any type of interviews, nothing.
Yeah.
I think we would have a different perspective of this show for a lot of people. So I try to drown it all out, especially if a ton of people are super negative about it. I'm always like, well, I bet you there's some positive things too in it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's always a grass is greener on the other side. There's two stories, two ways to look at everything. So maybe you should be looking for something else in the show. and that's what I try to do. But so far, like the past 2 episodes, I thought was awesome. The storyline is getting better. It's improving. It's also the first season, so how
Yeah.
many shows have you started and you're like, man, season 1 kind of sucked, but season 2 was great.
Yeah.
So there's growing pains on all those kind of shows.
No, for sure. And I thought that too. I thought that after the third episode, because the third one wasn't my favorite at all out of all of them. And I was like, man, how would this show be if it dropped all at once? Because it is like a mystery thriller, and like we're just waiting so long to figure this whole thing out. It would be like watching a movie like Glass Onion or Knives Out, like those mystery movies. Imagine if that was broken up over 8 weeks. That would be terrible. But you see
Oh
it in
yeah.
one sitting, and after 3 hours, you get the payoff. You figured out who was the murderer, who did this, who did that. So I was saying to a couple of buddies of mine, as soon as the show is done, I want to in one day off watch all 8 straight in a row and just see
I'm
if it
planning on doing
hits.
that.
Yeah, yeah. See if it hits different, which it should, and because we'll know the story one, but I think it'll just flow a lot better. But yeah, I miss those good old days, man, where you just saw the trailer and you went in. There was no interviewing the showrunner, the writer, the cast, this and that, and like I mean, some of these people are the things that they're saying isn't necessarily helping the show. Like you could have your own opinion, which is fine, but
Yeah,
like
everyone's entitled to that.
exactly, but like they're not adding to it, especially if you get a mid episode and then there's an interview that drops the next day that just pisses more people off. It's just making it worse. And
Do the
yeah,
interviews after, like, literally,
it's
like, it
done.
release everything, and in the contract, 1 month from release date is when you can start talking and doing interviews about your time on the
Yeah.
show. Like,
No, exactly. Exactly, man. So, I mean, I'm having fun with the stuff that I'm enjoying. And yeah, there's stuff that I'm like, but like for the most part, it does feel Star Wars. It looks like Star Wars. It sounds like Star Wars. And even if the last 2 episodes, like, I don't like the story, at the end of the day, I love this dude. He is badass. This helmet is sick. And like, at least we got this out of the show, a badass helmet and gauntlet and story from this guy. So, it's a damn, this thing is freaking sexy, bro. Either way, it's a man, I can't stop looking at it. Either way, I mean, you like what you like from it, and then if
no.
you don't, throw on the prequels or the OT, and that always brings back those butterflies and goosebumps.
Well, I can remember, like, your old school Star Wars old heads hating the prequels,
Dude,
hating it,
100%. 100%.
shitting all over it.
Yep.
And but now they love it, or like,
Yep.
or oh, it's not so bad. If they just would have took Jar Jar Binks out, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Now they're open to that. Now you're also hearing some of the older guys that are like, actually, Jar Jar Binks wasn't so bad. And then, like,
Yeah.
every time something comes out, your older generation or the generation before, I'm not talking like the super old guys that, like, even my generation, because we're crapping on some of the newer stuff, but my daughter is enjoying it.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
the next thing that comes out, my daughter's going to be the one probably hating on it because it's not what she originally was
Yeah.
introduced to.
Yep.
So I feel like it's been a pattern, and it's like no big deal. And I feel like sometimes the things that some of the people hate so much, it like kind of grows on them. Like Rogue One,
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people not liking Rogue One.
So crazy.
To man, Rogue One, man, that scene at the end, it's like, like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just,
yeah. No, exactly. And I even remember when the prequels came out, I watched all three in the theaters, 99, 02, 2005. And when it was done, I was like, they're cool. I like them. But I always was like, but the OT is the real Star Wars. The OT is better. I always had that mindset for a while.
mhm,
And then it wasn't until I watched, it was before season 7 came out, but I watched all 6 seasons of the Clone Wars, and it just enhanced the prequels experience because now it's like when you rewatch the
big
prequels,
time.
all these stories are going on in the background with Obi-Wan and Anakin and Maul and Mace and Jar Jar and Padme. and Ahsoka. So after watching Clone Wars, I think I'm more prequels than OT. It's so hard to pick, but like I might
It's
lean a
very
little bit
hard.
more towards prequels, especially like with us getting all this Hayden live action lately. Like we got him back in Kenobi for a little bit. We got him in Ahsoka for a bunch in that episode. He's supposed to be in season 2. Like, give me all the Hayden we could get, bro. I do not care. I love that man.
Oh. But like people hated him as Anakin for a long time. Oh, he's kind of whiny.
So
Oh,
crazy.
he was a young heartthrob. They should have casted someone else. You know, like I can remember people like
Yeah.
whining and complaining about that. It's like he did a great job.
Yeah, he did what George told him to do. He was supposed to be the
Yeah,
whiny Padawan like learner. And you
yeah.
know it's wild? Like I think Leonardo DiCaprio was almost cast as Anakin. That would have been wild.
He's one of the best actors ever. So I
He
mean,
he is, but I don't know. I'm
but
just
they
so
would have
used to
shit on
Hayden.
him too.
They would have been like they should have casted Hayden Christensen instead of Leo. Like no matter what, there's always it's you're never gonna please everybody no matter what. It's crazy. I just like it when at least 80% of the fandom is happy. Like I feel Mando season 1 and 2, like most people were happy during that Ahsoka episode 5. That week after Ahsoka episode 5, bro, everyone was just on cloud 9. It was such good vibes, positive. When Tales of the Jedi dropped that one Wednesday, all 6 episodes, and getting more with Dooku and Yaddle, bro, everybody was happy. Like those are the times
Yeah,
that I live
freaking out.
for.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like the Mando season 2 finale, bro, that was just such a special episode that it hit everybody, the old heads, the new heads, everybody, because that
yeah.
is Return of the Jedi Luke that we last saw, that we all like. That was the Luke we expected in the sequels, but never got, and it was so special, man.
That was awesome for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, it was great.
yeah,
It always cracks like Acolyte, episode 5. After that, I just started laughing after the show because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna catch a bunch of people just because how dark and twisted it turned, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
you haven't seen any type of dying like that in Star Wars, really. Like,
yeah,
when did you see someone
dude. I did.
drop
That
it?
shocked me. I was like, "Yo, you just snapped the dude's neck and you showed it and you threw his body on Disney Plus." That was wild. So wild.
Wild, bro.
It,
Wild.
is your daughter watching this show?
No, she hasn't started
Okay.
watching. Like, so she's watched a couple of them, but she hasn't watched that one.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
These two past episodes. I pre-watched
Yeah.
everything prior to. So
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because that might, damage a kid seeing that, like, and in even the episode yesterday. And it was funny in my reaction. I was talking about you because like they just show the helmet. I was like, man, my helmet shipped out. I'm getting it this week. And as soon as I finished that sentence, Jackie's dead body popped up on the screen. I was like, and like it paused on her dead body for a minute, which was like gruesome. And then it goes to Yord's body, and I'm like, bro, this is like a horror movie showing these slaughtered Jedi on the floor, and they're zooming in and focusing on them.
no,
Wild.
and I can now. I mean, I can kind of understand now a little bit of some of the comments. Like, this is going to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like there are. I mean, there are opportunities in this entire show that's going to make anybody uncomfortable. Different beliefs, different religion,
Yeah.
everything, and how you see stuff. And the past 2 episodes are going to make people feel uncomfortable. Now the horror community, they're in heaven right now.
They love it. Yep. No.
Yeah.
They love it, man. Yeah. No, for sure, man. So that's pretty much everything I got. What you got coming up next on either your Instagram or your YouTube that the people could look forward to?
I mean, just making. I mean, it's kind of sporadic. I just love making stuff. I'm gonna make stuff. I'm gonna post it, and
Yeah.
I don't even know sometimes what's gonna be next. Like, I really wasn't planning on doing this gauntlet, but I was like, you know what? I want to do it, and I want to do it a little bit different, and I want to hit it with some different colors. So that'll get posted. As soon as I get another helmet done, I'm gonna post up. With them together. I think that'd be cool.
Ooh, yeah. Awesome.
But I don't know. I got a Halo helmet that's going to be coming up soon. It's not going to be like any character. It's just going to be like a fun paint job. So
Nice. Awesome. So for you guys watching, go to his Instagram, follow him, go to his YouTube. The links will be down in the description. But Rex, thank you so much for coming on, man. This was a blast.
oh, dude, thank you so much for having me, and everyone that has lingered onto my channel lately and checked it out and subscribed. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's been a wild ride, and
Yes.
it's going to be a blast. So thank you.
Yes, awesome. So that'll be it for this episode of Sith Talk, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.